Today I'm sharing how to make cotton soft strawberry shortcake.
After decades of testing, selling, and teaching professionally, I've refined every step to create the best version ever. This is the very first one I made about 22 years ago. I know, if I could do it, anyone can. In this video, I'm spilling all the techniques that finally helped me frost the whipped cream cake beautifully. Ready?
Let's get started.
I shared how to make the sponge cake in my previous video, but today I'm using a half batch for 1 6-inch pan. You can also make a full batch to make 8-inch strawberry shortcake. The steps are the same, so I will go through them very quickly here, but check out that tutorial to learn how to make it in much more depth. First, combine eggs and sugar and warm them in a water bath until very warm. Immediately whip at high speed until it reaches the ribbon stage. Finish at low speed for 5 to 10 minutes until very shiny. Add sifted cake flour and fold just until you don't see any flour. Finally, add milk, oil, and vanilla extract. Fold until it flows down smoothly from the spatula like this. Immediately pour it into the pan. Swirl it with the toothpick and toss the pan a couple of times to break down large air bubbles. Bake in a preheated oven until a toothpick comes out clean. Once it's out, tap the pan gently to release some internal steam and flip it onto a wire rack to make the top flat. Let it cool completely at room temperature. While the cake is cooling, I usually make the simple syrup and cut the strawberries. Simply mix hot water and sugar to make the syrup and set it aside. You can cut strawberries any way you like. I often like to cut them thick to enjoy the texture. Remove any excess moisture and set them aside in the fridge. Now that the cake is cooled completely, you can cut it into 2 or 3 layers. For this cake, I love cutting it in half to really feel the fluffy sponge. Hold a serrated knife like this parallel to the table. Set the angle. First, make a small cut and mark the halfway line on all sides. If you do this successfully, the end of your line should meet the beginning. Again, now that we've marked the half, you just need to cut through it. There are a couple ways to do this. If this is your first time, it might be easier to cut about 1/3 deep into the cake from 4 different angles. After that, cut through the middle part. Or you can go deeper slowly while rotating the turntable. Either way, ensure that the knife is parallel to the cake to keep the thickness even. If this is your first time, do it very slowly. Speed comes naturally with practice. Now apply the simple syrup evenly to the cut sides. For whipped cream, prepare ice cold water. I didn't have ice cubes ready, so I froze a bowl of water before using. Now whip the heavy cream and sugar until it's thick enough but still very soft. If you are not sure of the thickness, do not whip more. You can always adjust it later, but you cannot really go back and fix the over whipped cream. This is too soft for the crumb coat. For that, we need a thicker cream to build a solid structure. So whip about 1/3 of the cream until fluffy like this. I love this way because you only need 1 bowl for the whole process. Whipped cream is sensitive to the heat, so keep your bowl sitting in that ice cold water. This is so important, it makes a huge difference. Place the bottom layer in the exact center of the turntable. This is important to frost the cake evenly. Drop a large scoop of the thicker cream and spread it thinly. Angle your cake spatula toward the direction you are moving. Otherwise, you'll drag the cream and make it look rough. Now attach the cut strawberries. They do not slide or move around thanks to the cream. Fill the gaps with more cream to create a flat surface. Then stack the second layer, ensuring it's perfectly centered. Floss the entire cake thinly with the thicker cream to lock in the crumbs. This is a crumb coat, so you don't have to worry about perfection yet. Use this time to practice your movement for final coating. Now this is the remaining cream. I used up all the thicker cream. Mix the rest gently to check the thickness. This looks perfect. It may look very soft, but it works great for a smooth finish. Drop 2 large scoops on top and spread it evenly. Do not be afraid to go over the edge. We're gonna clean that up later. And cover the sides in even thickness. You do not need to smooth it out yet. Just cover the entire surface evenly. And remember, the more you touch the cream, the grainier it gets. So touch it gently and work as efficiently as possible. Add more frosting on top to create a sharp corner edge later. You can finish frosting with the same cake spatula, but today I'm going to use a solid dough scraper. Hold your scraper at 4 o'clock position or 8 o'clock if you are left-handed. Keep it vertical at a 90-degree angle. Lock your arm in place so that it's not going to be shaky, and smoothly spin the table. And when you're done, gently slide off. If you see small holes, add a bit more soft cream and repeat the motion one more time. Like I said, you don't want to do this many times because the cream will eventually start getting too thick and too rough. Now gently slide your spatula inward to finish the top edges and clean the spatula each time. The cake looks much better with the clean line. Okay, so that was the final coating. If you want to skip all the final coating, you can tap the cream with your spatula or spoon like this for a simple rustic texture instead. Mix your remaining cream gently for piping. If it's too thick, you can add more cream or a tiny splash of milk to make it looser. Use any piping tip you like. Today I'm using a large round tip. Move the tip upwards as you pipe. Stop the pressure and lift to create a teardrop shape. And anytime you feel the cream is getting a little bit too soft or unstable, you can always chill it in the fridge and come back. Now decorate with the remaining strawberries. This is the most fun part. Create any design you like. If using powdered sugar, dust it right before serving so it doesn't melt on the humid surface. Or you can also get non-melting powdered sugar for decoration. For a faster version, you can use a medium stiff cream for the entire process without a crumb coat. It's much easier and still looks pretty. To slice, use a warm slated knife, move it in a gentle zigzag motion, and warm the knife to cut the cake beautifully. The cake is pillowy soft, moist, and perfectly light, and so good. If you tried it, please let me know and tell us how you enjoyed it. Today I'm using heavy cream with 36% milk fat because that was the only one I could get. But for whipped cream cakes, I like the one with 40 to 45% milk fat for a better stability and richness. With lower fat, the cream looks a little bit more rough and less stable, especially at room temperature. It did the job, but I would say avoid anything below 36%.
Cover any cut size with plastic wrap and store the cake in a airtight container. I recommend taking it out of the fridge immediately before serving, as the whipped cream will begin to lose its stability after about 30 to 60 minutes. And this was a little bit surprising to me first, but the whipped cream feels slightly sweeter after a full day. It's a small detail, but I wanted to share it so that you can decide when to make yours.
And for all strawberry lovers, I've linked my other delicious strawberry dessert recipes in the description, so check it out if you're interested.
I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below and share it with someone who might also want to take the lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy pastry living, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.